Okay, so DayZ 1.18 just released a couple days ago, and I'm going to make this video now, obviously, as something obviously people may wanted to know about the new update. So, to start off with, obviously you've got your given. So, this is just a short list, really. So, armbands are now flat, you can make it to flags. You've got the new breaching charges, REDs. You got your little more detonation unit, your M79, it's grenades. I'm not going to get out all of the grenades, but you've got 4 types of smoke grenades. You've got blue, you've got purple, red, and white, as well as your HE ones, which are just these, and also your gas grenades. In addition to DayZ 1.18, you can now place static items. So if you don't know what static items is, it's things that are basically you cannot interact with, but you can find them all across the map. So for example, crates, fences, got little gun racks you can find in military zones. All those buildings and the fences there are all static, and you've got your little aesthetic stuff. For example, this runway, you can now put down parts of the runway. With 1.18, you now have the ability to obviously blow up or make IEDs. For these, you need a repair kit, a protective case, and basically you combine them and you get what is here, a improvised explosive. So these things are pretty nifty, right? So obviously you've got your electronic wiring, and what you can do is you can put 2 different types of explosives inside, or an explosive and an alarm clock, or so on and so on, and there you can make a timed explosive. However, for this we're going to go ahead and combine it with plastic explosive. So we'll put 2 of those in. Oh, that's a bit funny. Combine that. So now inside. Then what we'll do is just drop this onto the floor. Get a remote detonation unit, and then what you can do is you can combine them and arm explosive. So what we're going to do is we're going to test how many of these it takes to blow up that wall. So what I'll do is I'll show you. So we're going to detonate number 1. So that was 2 explosives. So to give you a quick rundown of the new update, it's going to take obviously 12 grenades now. Doesn't matter what type. It's going to take 3 claymores to destroy the front and 3 more to destroy the back. It should take 2 IEDs, the ones here that I'm placing, to destroy the wall overall. But anyway, that's a given. Let me get on to the next part. So, as I was saying about the items that you can find, it's become a lot more interesting, especially for a lot of people who like to build stuff like myself. So it's easier just typing in static at the top left, and then here you are. DayZ has brought in close to maybe 300 to 400 different items that you can find around the map. So if you want to say you want to go ahead and build a abandoned base or abandoned town, what you can do is you just can find ruined house like this, static ruins, and obviously do as you please. So say if I want to pop this down, put it down into the ground, so you can obviously mess about with it, and then from there you can just keep going ahead and going ahead. Or another example, say you want to go ahead and build yourself a new different runway. So you'll put in, say, let's have a look, runway. There you go, static. One I had earlier. There we go. So there you go. So this is one you can find on NWAF, I believe. And what you can do is obviously you can just go ahead, mess about with it, line it up, and you can basically build yourself a new runway. Pretty cool, right? Or final thing, you want to design your your own little base, or you want to go ahead and build something just to show off to your pals, and you want some furniture. So obviously static as all time, and then there you go. You can start putting in your little boxes you can find in industrial zones. If you want a painting, you've got that. You want to start designing like a little shop. There you go. You can do so much now with what you have, and it's pretty cool. So yeah, especially if you own a server and you cannot, obviously, like say on Xbox or PS4, you can go ahead and start putting canned bacon or whatever you want on there, and you can make a shop, and it's gonna be pretty damn cool. Anyway, to my next thing to survive 1.18. And another thing here is to find the explosives, such as the breaching charges. They'll be mainly found in industrial sites like this one. So for example here at Viable Industrial, this is an example. Let's say we go over here, let's give it a second, teleporting. So something like this, or maybe over here like these. So anywhere that is an industrial site, you can find the breaching charges. I don't know why, but it just is. While the claymores you'll find somewhere like Tizzy, all the way up north, up here. So claymores found here and breaching charges would be found obviously at the industrial sites. The little claymore, well, the little you know, with more detonators could obviously be found here, or possibly at the construction buildings. I'm not too sure about that one, but mainly anything military. So the next one, obviously, you're here at 1.18 and you're building a base, and because building the base now is going to be a lot more difficult in terms of survival with the amount of explosives that come in, and especially if you can do it from such a long range, I'm going to give you something that may help out. 1.18 is going to be a lot more difficult to raid apartment bases, especially ones on the roof. So, if you're say going to go ahead and build a base up here, on top of this roof for example, the only way you can get up is obviously by the ladder. And doing it by ladder would mean that you have to come up to the top here and place down whatever you've got. But if you can get a gate down, the 4 points, one across, one behind, barbed wire at both, and make sure that you log off inside the base, and when you do go outside you must leave the top gate open, because if you come up and obviously you've got it closed, you're going to cut yourself. So what you could do is go ahead and build walls up these stairs. So obviously you've got some protection when you leave base, but when you go back on top and log off, you've got a trap base. And the only way you can invade it is by a grenade launcher from, let's say, that roof over there. So basically you're giving yourself a massive advantage in terms of raiding rooftop bases. And I think if you go ahead and do this in a live server, you've pretty much got a W. It's straight up dub. So that's my 2 pence on that one. If you want to comment on that, and do so in the comments, I will get back to you. It's awesome to see your feedback on it. But anyway, that's everything. I'm not going to obviously take up more of your time. This is just my ideal things that you may need to know for DayZ 1.18. So anyway, thank you very much and I'll see you in a bit.